Alabama's stunning 40-35 loss to Vanderbilt on Saturday in Nashville has fans and analysts alike reeling. This game wasn't just a close call. It was a seismic shock to the college football landscape. How could one of the most dominant teams in the sport's history lose to a perennial SEC underdog? It's a result that leaves even the most seasoned Alabama followers speechless. To put things into perspective, Alabama hadn't lost to Vanderbilt in nearly 40 years, since 1984, in fact. Even legendary coaches like Bill Curry, Mike DuBose, and Mike Shula never suffered a loss to the Commodores. This makes Saturday's defeat all the more jaw-dropping. And just to amp up the magnitude, Alabama entered the game as the top-ranked team in the country, fresh off a win against Georgia. Vanderbilt? They came into the matchup with an unthinkable 0-60 record against top 5 teams. Alabama, one of the most storied and celebrated programs in the history of college football, faced an opponent widely regarded as an SEC punchline for much of the last century. It was a true David versus Goliath moment, and this time David won. If you're wondering where this loss ranks in terms of all-time Alabama defeats, it's up there. But is it the worst? You be the judge. Let's take a look at some other jaw-dropping losses that might rival this one. 1. Auburn 14, Alabama 13, 1949. The Iron Bowl is one of the most intense rivalries in college football, and this loss set the tone. After demolishing Auburn 55-0 the year before, Alabama was stunned by a much weaker Auburn team in 1949, losing 14-13. The missed extra point in the final minutes made it even more heartbreaking. 2. Auburn 17, Alabama 16, 1972. Punt Bama punt. A game so infamous, it has its own name. Alabama led 16-3 with just minutes left on the clock, only to watch Auburn block 2 punts and return both for touchdowns, winning 17-16 in one of the most shocking comebacks in college football history. 3. Mississippi State 6, Alabama 3, 1980. Alabama, riding a 28-game win streak and ranked number 1, was brought down by Mississippi State, who hadn't beaten the Crimson Tide in over 2 decades. This loss was a huge shock at the time, given Alabama's dominance during the 70s. 4. Georgia Tech 24, Alabama 21, 1981. In 1981, Alabama was expected to roll over a weak Georgia Tech team, but turnovers and missed opportunities led to a stunning upset. This was the only game Tech would win that season, making it all the more embarrassing for the Tide. 5. Memphis State 13, Alabama 10, 1987. Another first-year coach, another stunner. Bill Curry's Crimson Tide, ranked number 15, lost to a Memphis State team that had gone 1-10 the year before. Memphis State kicker Johnny Butler, an Alabama native, delivered the knockout blow with a 47-yard field goal, sending Alabama home in disbelief. The loss to Vanderbilt will likely be remembered in the same breath as these iconic Alabama upsets. It wasn't just about losing a game, it was about losing to an opponent who seemed destined to lose. A once-in-a-generation moment for Vanderbilt football, and a tough pill to swallow for Alabama. As the dust settles, Alabama will have to regroup, but this game will be talked about for years to come.